Howdy music fans, thanks for joining me today. Just going to show you some recent finds and one new release I believe that I'm excited about. Since I've been back to Seattle, I've hit the record stores a couple of times, not many, but a couple of times. Today, I don't know when this is going to air, so I'll say today, Saturday, July 10th, I went to two stores, and I'll specify that. And then last week or the week before, I went to another one. Okay, so since I've done tours of all these stores, I'll tell you what they are. I went to Fat Cat Records a couple weeks ago or last week, and I got T-Rex's Electric Warrior with expanded, edition bonus cuts, remastered and all. And I really got this mostly because of the bonus cuts. I've had this album before, the CD, and I've gotten rid of it, and I don't know why. I go back and forth on T-Rex and Mark Bolan. He's got a lot of material, and I like his sound a lot, but then I hear some stuff and I'm like, not that interested. So I go back and forth. But this album is an absolute classic. You know, it's one of his real big ones, of course, with Jeepster and Bang a Gong. But there's lots of good stuff on this, other good stuff as well. I believe Ride a White Swan, my favorite T-Rex song, might be on this album too. And so I've up until now I've thought pretty much all I need is a collection of greatest hits, and so that's what I've had for a while. And I'm wrong. Ride a White Swan is not on this, but I do have it on that collection anyway. That is my favorite one. But this has Bang a Gong and Jeepster and The Motivator and Life's a Gas and Rip Off. So, all right, that is T-Rex. I also got these great stars are on Fury and Fire and Fury. So I have the box set or two box sets one's from Capricorn, one's from Fire and Fury. I have the box set. It's only a 2 CD set, and this is a 3 CD set and was only $8. And so I'm assuming there's got to be a lot of different stuff on there, and so I bought it. Besides just the original, the one on the first two. I mean, there's a lot of great artists. Bobby Marchin, Buster Brown, Tar Heel Slim, and Little Ann. I mean, come on, that's what a great name, right? John A.C. D.D. Ford. Okay, you haven't heard of any of these people. I probably have you. But Elmore James and Arthur Crudup are on here, and Wilbert Harrison. And Lightnin' Hopkins may be on here. I believe he's on the other box set, the 2 CD set. Oh, hey, look at that. There he is, right? I hoping to write to a picture of Lightnin' Hopkins. There's Elmore James. So anyway, pretty cool stuff. Great R&B from, it says 19, oh no, sorry, that's that's a life date. So, when is this stuff from? I guess this is mostly from the 50s, I believe. It says limited edition, 2,000 units, so wow. This, I have not decided what I'm going to do with this yet, but it looks so badass, I had to buy it. Texas Funk from 1968 to I think it says 75 or 73. And so I listened to some of it in the store at Fat Cat Records, and then I thought, if I don't like it enough to keep it, my brother will dig it, so I could send it to him. So I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to listen to it first all the way through to make my decision. But it very well might go to my brother. But there's some really cool stuff on here, so it's pretty badass. And just the cover and the title, I couldn't let it go. It just looks so cool. And it's a lot of stuff on here too. What a great photo. Texas Funk. Okay. Now, today, July 11th, Saturday, I first went to Silver Platters. I went to first, okay, and so I should show that. I picked up the brand new John Hiatt with Jerry Douglas, Leftover Feelings. Looking forward to that. I listened to it quite a while back, and I don't even remember what I thought of it. I think I liked it, but you can't go wrong with Jerry Douglas and John Hiatt. It's on New West Records. So, yeah, New West is his latest, John Hiatt's last label. Doesn't look like there's anything except the record in here, the CD in here. So, there you go, John Hiatt's new one. And then I saw this Doc Watson with Merle. There was a few of them there that I didn't have that were used, but this one I listened to on my phone and I liked it, so I got it. Red Rocking Chair. It's got some pretty cool stuff on it, and very, rockin', as you might suspect, with R. Michael Coleman. I don't know who that is, but it looks like he sings and maybe plays bass. It's on Flying Fish Records, which has quite a bit of Doc on it, I believe. He's had a lot of stuff on Flying Fish. Anyway, so yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing that all the way through. I have been making progress on my backlog, but boy, this is now going to add to it quite a bit. Wait till you see what I got coming up. Anyway, this thing's been sitting around forever down there. I didn't know what the hell it was. It's Waylon Jennings, Right for the Time, and I looked it up, and I always forget what I looked up, and it's a reissue of his album Right for the Time, which was one of his later albums that I did like, but this is a reissue that is remastered. It's called Right for the Time, Remembering, and it's I don't know. I mean, we'll see why I got this. I might still keep the original one, but it's interesting to hear what they do with the remaster, and it was only $9, and so I thought, as big a Waylon fan as I am, why not get it? And I do like this album. This actually might be, let me look at the songs. This might be one of my, favorites of his later albums. Cactus, Texas. I love that song. And that's on this. And Kissing You Goodbye is fantastic, and that's on this too. He also does a version of Simon & Garfunkel's The Boxer. Anyway, all right. So the guy at Fat Cat Records, last time I was there, I asked him, he had told me way back about some bootlegs that he was putting out. I did a video on all the Kinks bootlegs I brought home, and I told you guys about all the Led Zeppelin ones I found, and all kinds of stuff he had. Lots and lots of Peter Green era Fleetwood Mac bootlegs. All silver discs, all pretty good sounding, and I bought a bunch of the Kinks ones and a Dave Davies, and I might have bought some others. Well, last time I was there, I asked him, he told me he had Stones ones, and I said, well, when are those coming out? And he said, I'll email you. Give me your email. And so he emailed me Friday. So I came, yesterday, I guess that is. So I went in today, Saturday. And I found a whole lot more stuff. So let's get to it. Fleetwood Mac's Mirage. I listened to that while I was there, and I liked it. $3. I don't have this one. Again, he's got a ton of Fleetwood Mac, Peter Green era bootleg, and otherwise. And it's so cheap, it's ridiculous, And then he's got a bunch of Yardbirds and he had a couple of Who CDs, which I almost bought and I left behind, bootlegs again. And he had a Derek and the Dominoes one that I left behind. He had a lot of Beatles. He had all kinds of stuff. Lots of Yardbirds, I think I said that. Anyway, I got this David Bowie singles, 1969 to 1993, featuring his greatest hits. I couldn't pass it up for 2 CDs for $3. I don't know why, because I've got a double CD greatest hits of Bowie already, and it's got most of this stuff, but I couldn't pass it up, So, all right, there's that. And now let's keep on going. Oh, there's 2 booklets in here. Whoa, fancy pants. Look at that. 2 booklets. I hope this isn't from another CD and I should bring it back to him. I will check. Oh, that looks like they're the same colors as the CDs. Wait a minute, is this 3 CDs? Oh my God, this says David Bowie and Bing Crosby, Peace on Earth and Little Drummer Boy. Well, that I'll have to check out at some point. That'll be an education in something or other. Funny. I didn't know anything about that. You Bowie fans out there probably did. Okay, John Lennon's Rock and Roll. I always mistake this album for Live in New York City, the one I really want, that I love because I loved it as a kid. But I like this one too, and I like John Lennon doing these songs, these old classic rock and roll tunes. So I thought for $3, this guy also had a ton of John Lennon's solo albums. Not a ton, but 3, 4, or 5 others. They were $5 each. And he had, I just flitted out of my head. What did he have? Other stuff. I'll come back to it. Anyway, I have Nothing by Queen. So now I have a greatest hits. And it's got the songs I've heard. And honestly, most of these I haven't heard. But the handful that I know and like, it's got them. So I saw the movie Summer of Soul a couple weeks ago with some friends. And it blew me away. I highly recommend it. Go see it. A piece of Black history completely erased out of the books of history, the history books, and you need to see it. It's fantastic. And there was a band in there, several, that I didn't really know much about. The Chambers Brothers. The only thing I know about them is that Joan Jett has covered Time Has Come Today on her Hit List album. So I got this one, listened to it first, but it's got some cool stuff on it. Really dug it. All right, now I was doing all that talking about bootlegs, so you're probably going like, where the hell are the bootlegs? All right, well, here's one. Rolling Stones RSVP, and it's an alternate version of Beggar's Banquet with a bunch of other unreleased songs at the end, like Still a Fool, and forget some of these, Sweet Lucy, and Stuck Out All Alone, and Highway Child. And, you know, this isn't anything new to me. It's just cool to have it, the original silver disc bootleg. Here's another one that I already have 2 versions of, but this sounded so good. It might sound better than both of my versions, and it's nice to have it as a silver disc. It's a club gig they played in Toronto, '77, with some real oddball songs. They did Dance Little Sister, they did Little Red Rooster, Round and Around, and then they did Hand of Fate from Black and Blue, Route 66, Worried About You, and Crackin' Up, the Bo Diddley tune, and Let's Spend the Night Together. And then it's got Cocksucker Blues, but that's just added on at the end from all, you know, studio outtakes. Then I got this Rolling Stones Crackin' Up. It says Live in London 1964. Could be BBC stuff. Oh, actually, no, there is some. I did hear some BBC, the guy talking a little bit. Just nice to have the silver disc. You know, I might have all this stuff in other versions, but for $3, I wasn't going to pass it up. I did pass up a couple of things that he had that were Stones that were $3 that I was like, yeah, I've got all this. All right, let's find the rest of the Stones stuff, and then we'll, since we're doing Stones. There's only one other Stones that I got, I believe. Yeah, okay, so I got Rolling Stones Censored. This is a bunch of stuff off of Stripped, and it's been pretty widely circulated. Fantastic quality. Really excellent stuff, but there's some oddball stuff on the end of this, like the Do Run Run from the early '60s, I believe, and then Memphis might be from the '80s or from like the Dirty Work outtakes. Cook Cook Blues, which ended up being a B-side of a single, cassette single. Highland says Highland Flying, it's really Highland Fling, and We're Wasting Time, and Fancy Man Blues, and Natural Magic. So some interesting things on this, but most of it is their stuff from that stripped record, you know, acoustic thing that they did in the studio, that they kind of their version of Unplugged, plus a bunch of stuff from their club gigs, which came out. Some of that came out on Stripped, and it's, like I say, widely circulated, especially since they did a 4 DVD, you know, and a single CD set of Stripped. All right, I finally picked up, I used to have it, but Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars for $6. You can't find this usually used for, and this is the you know, the second version with the bonus tracks. Usually can't find this used for less than $8 or $9, so $6. All right, you guys are going to be surprised at this, but I, as a kid, had the Beatles live at the Star Club on Hamburg Star Club on vinyl, and I loved it. And I found it for $5, the 2 CD version set of it. It doesn't sound great. I think it sounds a little worse than my records did. I believe my records sounded pretty good, but I just thought, you know, what a blast from the past. They do all this old rock and roll stuff like Hippie Hippie Shake and Sweet Little 16 and Mr. Moonlight and Hully Gully, and I saw her standing there, Little Queenie, and I just remember, Kansas City and Hey Hey Hey. I just remember really digging this. So, of course, Twist and Shout's on there, and Roll Over Beethoven, and Matchbox, and Long Tall Sally. I do like when the Beatles did their screaming rock and roll covers, actually quite a bit. So anyway, I got that now, finally, which is really cool. All right, let's get into some oddball bootlegs. These are the Rarities on compact disc from some Westwood 1 radio networks. And I got, he had a whole bunch of them, and I listened to the ones that just sounded interesting to me, or I bought the ones that sounded interesting to me. I bought volume 4, 5, 9, and 15. And let's see, they all have a lot of Beatles on them, early Beatles. But let's see, this one also has some Mary Hopkins, some Rolling Stones, some Dave Clark 5, some Elvis, some Badfinger, who I like a lot, some more Dave Clark 5, let's see, more Badfinger, Bobby Lewis, the Hollies, Beach Boys. It's pretty interesting. Chubby Checker, the Ronettes, I like the Ronettes. Pretty neat stuff. And I don't have a lot of it, and a lot of it I do, and a lot of it I don't. Then this next one has lots of Beatles, and the Fortunes, and the Trogs, more Dave Clark 5, more Beatles, Jerry and the Pacemakers, let's see, Al Stewart, more Stones, and an Elton John tune, and the Crystals, and Archie Bell, and just some really neat stuff. And like I say, I listened to them, and the ones that had songs that I liked, I bought. The next one I got has a lot of Beatles, and then the Chiffons, and the Ronettes again, and the McCoys, of course, Hang On Sloopy, the Small Faces, Itchy-Coo Park, pretty cool stuff. More Chubby Checker, Dee Dee Sharp, the Marvelettes, the Rolling Stones, the Hollies. Dave Edmunds is on here, and Depeche Mode is on one of these. It's kind of weird. But these are all silver disc originals. This one has Jan and Dean and lots of Beatles and fantastic Johnny C, Boogaloo Down Broadway, and then Swingin' Medallions and Joe Jones, and they all kind of start with the Beatles, every one of them, I think. The High Numbers, the original Who, their name. Bruce Springsteen doing Viva Las Vegas. That sounded pretty badass. Manfred Mann, Queen, Dion and the Belmonts, George Harrison, Bobby Fuller 4, Prince. Just some weird mix of stuff. Really, really cool. All right, now, well, actually, I'm going to save these for last. So then I got these Monterey Pop Festival 2-disc sets, Volume 1 and Volume 2, and they were each $3. So the whole Monterey Pop Festival, I know it's not the whole festival, but it's got a lot of great stuff on it. Grateful Dead and Crosby, Stills and Nash and Mamas and the Papas and Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix, Otis Redding and The Who and Simon and Garfunkel and all kinds of cool stuff. So, and then there's the second volume. Sorry. And I think these are bootlegs. Living Legend is a bootleg record label, I believe. It's funny that they have actual labels and stuff, like they're a legit little, network and stuff. Okay, and then last but not least, a bunch of Kinks CDs. More Kinks. Live Kinks, mostly. Kinks on Holiday. This is mostly 70s, 72, and then 77. Almost all of these have some stuff added on at the end. They have got a show or part of a show as that happens, and then they've got some, but all silver discs, and they've got some stuff tagged on from BBC or something else. The Kinks Slum Kids. This one doesn't say where it's from. It's funny. It's on Oh Boy Records, not the legitimate John Prine label, but Oh Boy, the bootleg label, which I have some other stuff. I got a Joan Jett. They had a rock pile there, but I've got so much rock pile, I figured I probably had it. I wanted to get that. For $3, I almost got these even though I had them. I almost got the two Who's, the Derek and the Dominoes, 2 or 3 more Stones, and the rock pile. The Queen of the Bitches, Kinks again. And I listened to these, strolled through them on my Discman, and sound quality is just wonderful. Just wonderful for the most part. Of course it varies a little bit here and there, but overall, fun stuff. Lola and Other Sophisticated Songs. And this tells what it is. It's a bunch of stuff from BBC 74, Beat Club, Germany 66, and then Live UK Tour, and then Jukebox 1970 live TV special. Did I show you that side? Sorry. The first bunch of songs on this there's not much there, are the best. The first 12 tracks sound pretty good, the BBC stuff. Silver disc. And the last one is obviously from, I'd say late 80s. It's called the Chicago Gig. Oh, it was made in 89. on Golden Records. It's just called The Chicago Gig, and you can tell by the set list. Do It Again, Low Budget, Come Dancing, Working at the Factory, Think Visual, Lola, State of Confusion, All Day and All the Night, Celluloid Hair Has Really Got Me. So they do some older stuff, but they have State of Confusion and Think Visual and Working at the Factory and Come Dancing. So those are definitely 80s tracks. So I'm assuming this is an 80s show. And of course it's not a whole show, and that's, you know, how bootlegs work oftentimes, is they have all these, you know, weird things. That's why I didn't buy a couple of the Stones ones that I left behind. Anyway, that's it. That's everything I've bought in the last, since I've been back from Baltimore. And I'm really going to try and now back off again and jump back into my backlog. Thanks so much for watching. Tell me what you think. Have a great day. Bye. I wonder if this thing's ever going to work. I guess not. See you later.